The book of Acts of the Apostles, chapter 27. My English is very bad, but have mercy, compassion of me. And God bless you and your family. Have a happy, great, wonderful, and blessed day. Let's go. And when it was determined that we should sail unto Italy, they delivered Paul and certain others prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus' band. And entering unto a ship of Adramantine, we launched, meaning to sail by the coast of Asia on Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us. And the next day we touched at Sidon, and Julius Cortelius Lee, and treated Paul, and gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. And when we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Cilicia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, a seat of Lycia, and their centurion found a ship of Alexandria sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And when we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce were come over against Cnidus, the wind not suffering us, we sailed on the Crete over against Salmon, and hardly passing it, came unto a place which is called the Fair Haven's Night, whereunto was the seat of Lazar. Now, when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished, I don't know, speak this, and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the landing and ship, but also of our lives. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul. And because the haven was not commodious to winter in, the more part advised to depart thence. Also, if by any means they might attain to Penis and there to winter, which is an haven of Crete, and lieth toward the southwest and northwest. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, losing thence they sailed close by Crete. But not long after there arose against it a tempestuous wind called Euroclydon, and when The ship was called the ship um, was called was called and could not bear up into the wind. We let her drive and run in under a certain island which is called a cloud. We had much work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used helps under getting the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksands, strike sail, and so were driven, and we begged exceedingly, tossing with a tempest. The next day they lightened the ship, and the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the skip, sei lá como é que fala isso. And when neither sun nor stars in the many days appeared, and no small tempest lying on us, our hope that we should be saved was then taken away. But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, we should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosened from the Crete, and to have gained this arm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the sheep, 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 skip, alguma coisa assim. For there stood by me this night the angel of God, whose I am, and one I serve, saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, God hath given thee all then that sigh with thee. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God that it shall be even as it was told me. Howbeit we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 40th night was come, as we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country, and sounded, and found in it 20 fathoms, and when they had gone a little footer, they sounded again, and found in it 15 fathoms. Then fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast four anchors out of the stern, and we shed for the day. And as shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea, and the colors are strong, they would have cast the chores out of for the ship. Paul said to the centurion and the soldiers, Except this abide in the ship, yet cannot be saved. Then the soldiers cut off the hopes of the boats and let her fall off. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying, "This day is the 40th day, number 14, and they that ye have tired and the continual fasting, having taken nothing. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat and metal meat, for this is for your health. For there shall not an hair fall from the head of any of you." And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to God in the presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in all in the ship 216 souls. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast out the heat wet into the sea. And when it was day, they know not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with a shore, into the which they were minded, if it were possible, to trust in the ship. And when they had taken up their shore, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed their wooden bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made towards shore. And falling into a place where two seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart stuck fast, and remained unmovably. But the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. The violence of the waves. And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. But Centurion, willing to save Paul, keep them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea, and get to land, and the rest some on boards, and some on broken piece of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to land. Next chapter 28. My English is very bad, but have mercy, compassion with me. And God bless you and your family. Have a great, amazing, happy, wonderful, and blessed day. Bye. Bye.